Good evening, friends. Very good evening and welcome to Unacademy. This is Abhijit, and today we are going to discuss about the perturbation, that is the process of delivery and the lactation. Okay, so the mechanism behind the feeding. Okay, so this type of question and the answer of these questions we will find in this lecture today. Okay, so let's start. So, guys, this is the YouTube channel, Crack Maharashtra CET, and this is the name of a batch. Okay, so this batch is for the 2021 examination, the MHT CET examination. Okay, so this is the very important to join this channel and click on the bell icon, so you will have the notification to attempt it live. Okay, so the all lecture you can attempt the live. You can ask the question and you will have the answer from us. Okay, so don't worry, you can interact with us in this lecture also. Okay, so the before starting the lecture, it is very necessary to know about me, guys. Okay, so this is the Abhijit Madkar. I have more than 6 years of experience in the field of biology, also cracked net CSIR from the life science. Okay, so we are here on the India's largest platform, that is Unacademy. Okay, so in the process of learning, if you want to enjoy more, so it is very necessary to install this app in your mobile or in your PC. Okay, so this app is available on the Play Store. So this is an app where the thousands of educator and thousands of free live lecture you can attend. Okay, so the Telegram app, this Telegram app or this Telegram channel, it will give you the daily updates, guides, notes, and the MCQ practice. Okay, so here is MCQs for our practice. So this is the actually channel will give you the most of the thing, the single channel which help you to boost your score. Okay, so join this channel if you do not have Telegram. So the link to download the Telegram is given in the description of this video. And so there is always, I mean, there is also the different type of links like to install this app of an academy, to join the channel. Okay, so to join this Telegram channel there is also link. So guys, uh, I already told you about the app. Okay, so that app is actually the open more than 96%, but the few things are locked. Okay, so to unlock that things, it is very necessary to take a subscription. So this is the code for a subscription, the capital Abhijit. So this will reduce your fee. Okay, so the fees for 24 month is 21,600. For 12 month it's 14,850 rupees. Okay, so guys, if you see in these three the subscription, so the 2,700 will give you the subscription of only 1 month, and this 3 month subscription 6,000. So if you double the fees, okay, you will have the subscription of the 6 month. But if you add only 2,000 in this 12,150, so it will give you the subscription of a double. Okay, 6 month to the direct 12 month. And if you add only 6 or the 5,000, 6,000 in this fees, so it will give you the double subscription. Okay, so the I will recommend you, if you are in a 12th, so please take a subscription of a 12 month. If you are in a 11, take a subscription of the 24 month, so it will help you till the examination. Okay, so take a subscription for the examination. Why? Because there is a MCQs practice on this subscription. So there is a live session or the a dedicated doubt solving session. Okay, so the dedicated doubt solving session is also there. So there you can allow, I mean, the you allow to download the lecture and you can see as per your time. That is the offline lecture facility is also there. And there is the interaction with your favorite educator, that is also facility which is available with this the subscription. So there are many facilities which is available with the subscription, which is given below in the a description of this video. Okay, so guys, let's start with perturbation and the lactation. So in this lecture, we are going to see the perturbation and the lactation. These two things are very important to understand after the birth. Okay, so this is the process of giving a birth, and this is the process of feeding. So it is the process of a birth, and this is after the birth. So the other thing, from the zygote to the ninth month. So this is called as development of embryo, and this is nothing but the embryology. So in tomorrow's evening session, okay. So tomorrow Saturday evening session. So we are going to revise all these the events in embryology. Okay. So the lecture may be more than 2 hours. Okay, so please be with the timing of a 2 hour. So plan for that 2 hour, I mean. So the embryology we will complete in the lecture of tomorrow's, and the Sunday, on Sunday we will have the MCQs practice. Okay. In the morning session, so MCQs practice on a cell division, and the biochemistry. So let's see the cell and cell division. We will select the only two chapters, so it is easy to revise it. And the evening session, only one chapter, that is reproduction. Okay, so reproduction without the health, reproductive health. Okay, so the reproductive health will not the part of our MCQs practice. Okay, फक्त reproduction मध्ये काय असेल, मेल reproductive system, female reproductive system, fertilization, embryology, lactation and perturbation. ओके, एवढ्याच गोष्टी असतील मित्रांनो. तर त्याच्यामध्ये रिप्रोडक्टिव्ह हेल्थ पण नसेल, त्यानंतर ते डिसीजेस, सेक्शुअली ट्रान्समिटेड डिसीजेस जे आहेत ते पण नसतील. ओके, तर ह्या जो शेवटचा पार्ट आहे हा आपण कॅन्सल करू. बाकी सगळा पार्ट आपल्याला एक कमीत कमी 50 ते 70 क्वेश्चन, 50 to 70 क्वेश्चन we will definitely practice in the session of Sunday. Okay, so be ready with the session of Sunday. So let's see what is meant by placenta. So very important thing before the perturbation we have to revise is a placenta. Okay, कोण कोण आहे रे, कोण कोण आलंय? शंका कुशंका असतील तर काढायला सुरुवात करा, डोक्यात आणायला सुरुवात करा, विचारत चला. ठीक आहे. Placenta is the only organ which is formed from the both individuals, so the half of the fetus and half of the mother. Okay, so the where is the placenta actually formed? So we will have the diagram of a placenta in the next slide. So the chorionic villi is a form from the fetus. So the part of a placenta which is part of a placenta formed from the fetus, okay, from the baby. Fetus means baby, so it's called as a chorionic villi. Chorionic villi, and the part which is formed from the mother, okay, is responsible for the giving blood supply. Ha, kai question आहेत का? So the chorionic villi, which is a part the made up of the baby, okay, are called as the fetal placenta. So this is called as the fetal placenta. It is the inner part of a placenta. The outer part of a placenta is shared by the mother and called as the maternal placenta. It is rich in a blood supply. Okay, so the maternal placenta is outer part, and this is a inner part of a placenta. Okay, so the placenta is hemochorial. Okay, why hemochorial? Because if you say the two things, so chorial is coming from here and hemo is coming from here, so this outer part is responsible for the blood supply. That's why these two things are comes together and they call it hemocorial. So it is an organ which is developed from the two different individual. One is a baby and second is a mother. Okay, so let's see what happened and how the placenta looks like. So this is the part which is the chorion. It is a fetal portion and this is the maternal portion, the outer one. Okay, so this is the placenta. So you can see the bluish color is the vein and the reddish color is artery. Okay, so this is the umbilical cord and umbilical vein, umbilical artery which is moving toward the fetus. So here is actually the baby is. Okay, so this is the remaining part of a maternal body. Okay, so this is the maternal arterial, the veins of the maternal, and this part is the part made up of the baby. Okay, so we call it the fetal portion. So the placenta is a hemocorial, means the it is made up of the two systems, one from the mother and one from the baby. Okay, so the umbilical cord, let's see what is meant by umbilical cord. So this is nothing but the umbilical cord, which is the connection between the mother and the fetus. Okay, the connection between mother and the fetus, or you can say the baby. Okay, so the umbilical cord is actually the direct connection between mother and fetus. So where the blood is not going to mix with each other, but they are very close to each other. The blood of a baby and the blood of a mother is very close to each other. So there is the exchange happening inside of this the placenta and the umbilical cord. Okay, so the membrane where the baby is inside is called as amniotic membrane. Okay, so the amniotic fluid which is inside of this membrane. Okay, so this amniotic fluid, if you take this amniotic fluid or the tissue from the baby, so you can see it by the number of chromosome and the type of a chromosome of the baby. Okay, so या chromosomeचा स्टडी तुम्ही करू शकता. Chromosome मध्ये if you find the 22 plus the 23 23rd pair, so in this 23rd period, if you find the structure like this, so definitely it's a X and a Y. Okay, so if you find the structure like this, so the both are same, that means both are X. So it's a girl and it's a boy. Okay, so you can find the boy or a girl in a very first sorry, the first month of the pregnancy. Okay, पहिल्याच महिन्यामध्ये pregnancy जे आपल्याला boy girl कळू शकतं. कशावरून? तर arrangement of the chromosome. So this test is called as amniocentesis. Okay, so this test is called as amniocentesis, which is completely banned. Okay, आता ती ban आहे, आता ती check केली जात नाही. पहिल्यांदा ती कशासाठी चेक केली जायची मित्रांनो, तर दॅट चेकिंग वॉज फॉर दी क्रोमोझोमल ॲबनॉर्मॅलिटीज साठी चेक केलं जायचं, काही क्रोमोझोमल काही जेनेटिक डिसीज आहेत का. पण आता ती चेक करत नाही, कारण लोकांनी त्याच्यावरून मेल फिमेल ओळखायला सुरुवात केली, म्हणून ॲमनिओसेंटेसिस आता पूर्णपणे बॅन आहे. सो दिस इज द ॲमनिओटिक फ्लुइड which is having the close contact with the baby. So this is the embryo, nothing but the baby. Embryo म्हणजे baby, बाळ हेच आहे. Amniotic fluid inside of the amniotic membrane. So the placenta is here, so this portion is called as a placenta, which is having the blood supply toward the baby by the single cord, and that cord is called as the umbilical cord. Okay, so the network of capillary, which is for the exchange of a material with the blood of a baby and the blood of a mother. So here is a wall of a uterus where the baby is implanted inside. The process is called as implantation. We are going to discuss this implantation into the embryogenesis. Okay, so the deoxygenated blood from mother carries waste product from the embryo, and oxygenated blood is moving toward the baby, will give the oxygen and the nutrition to the baby. Okay, so this is the structure which is formed between the baby and the mother. Okay, बाळामध्ये आणि आईमध्ये हे स्ट्रक्चर असतं. हे स्ट्रक्चर जे आहे, so this is the actually structure responsible for the exchange of material. एक्सचेंज करतं मटेरियल. कोणते कोणते बाळाला फूड पाहिजे तर फूड देतं, आणि जर वेस्ट घ्यायचं असेल तर वेस्ट घेतं. सो मदर इज ऍक्च्युअली रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर द एक्सचेंज. द ब्लड ऑफ अ मदर is responsible for the exchange with a baby. Okay, so the umbilical cord, if you see the structure of umbilical cord, so there is the circulation, so umbilical artery and the umbilical vein. So it is present in the umbilical cord, and the epithelial of the umbilical cord is called as the amniotic epithelial. Okay, so this is the structure which is having the role of exchange of material between the baby and the mother. Okay, so this is umbilical cord which is getting contact with the baby and coming from the placenta. So this red color part is nothing but the placenta. Okay, so from the placenta the connections are coming together, and one single connection of artery and a vein, or you can say the tube which is having the arteries and a vein, is moving toward the baby. Okay, so that is called as the umbilical cord. Okay, so the placenta is act as endocrine gland. Placenta is your endocrine gland. तर याला परमनंट नाही, आपण टेम्पररी म्हणतो. सो इट इज अ टेम्परर the endocrine gland which secretes three things. First is HCG, human chorionic gonadotropin. Second one is estrogen. Third one is a progesterone. Okay, so these are the hormones which is secreted by the placenta. Okay, so this HCG hormone, if you see the human chorionic gonadotropin, so mostly H is capital, sorry, written as a small. Okay, Uriachus was the gel-like structure which is present inside of the umbilical cord. Okay, actually it maintain the integrity between the umbilical cord and having the role in the exchange also. Okay, so the HCG is a hormone which is actually used in the pregnancy kit. So pregnancy kit is based on this hormone, HCG hormone. It is always present in the urine of the pregnant woman. Okay, so in the urine of a pregnant woman, urine of pregnant woman always contain HCG. Why? Because if you see the structure of the female reproductive tract, okay, so it looks like this. I always draw it. Okay, so few of you are getting bored to see the structure. Okay, but it is very necessary to draw all the time. Okay, so the embryo is planted here, for example. Okay, so embryo is here. So let me draw it a very good manner. So for example, this is an embryo. Okay, so here is a baby having a cheeks and the okay, so this is a baby legs. Okay, okay, so this is legs. So in this structure, so wait, Mansi, I will explain. Wait, so that is actually the not part of our syllabus. That's why I do not elaborate it very well. Okay, so it's just part of a diagram. So I take that diagram, but actually not a part of Wartengelins, and these things are not a part of our the syllabus. That's why I never explain it a very well manner. Okay, but actually if you want to know, so this is the accessory parts, okay, which is present inside of umbilical cord, which is having the barrier between the artery and the vein, and they also playing important role in the nourishment of a baby and the transport system. Okay, so let's see the integrity or the structure of umbilical cord is also depending upon this uriachus and the Wharton jelly. Okay, so let's see here. So the placenta is present here, for example. So this is the placenta, a red color placenta I am going to draw here. Okay, so when the HCG is coming here, so it is having the contact with the vagina. So this is a vagina. Okay, so the urine which is coming from the vagina is also having the HCG in the urine, and that's why the pregnancy kit required urine. Okay, so the pregnancy kit is based on this hormone HCG. लिहून ठेवायचे कुठेतरी हे, नुसतं ऐकायचं नाही, लिहून ठेवायचं आहे प्रेग्नन्सी किट वगैरे. Okay, so pregnancy kit is depending upon the HCG hormone. नाही तुम्हाला विचारलं जातं which of the following hormone is present on present in the pregnancy kit. So you are always blank, like I mean the as usual. सोपे सोपे क्वेश्चन चुकवून येणं तुमचं काम आहे पेपरमध्ये. तुम्ही नेहमी तेच करता, बरोबर की नाही? त्यामुळे लिहून ठेवायच्या या गोष्टी पटपट. नाहीतर 2-3 दिवसात व्होलाटाईल असतात, फॅक्च्युअल डाटा असतो, 2-3 दिवसात विसरून जाता तुम्ही. आणि तुम्ही लक्षात ठेवण्यापेक्षा विसरून जाण्यासाठी जास्त बनलाय. तुम्ही 11वी-12वीला आलात की काय होतं तुमच्या ब्रेनला काय माहित. मग तुम्ही विसरून जायला जास्त प्रेफरन्स देता. मोकळ्या मनाचे आहात तुम्ही, ॲज युज्युअल मी म्हणत असतो की दिवसभराचा ज्यावेळेस सगळा राग लोभ लोकाचा संध्याकाळी मनातून काढून टाकता, त्यावेळेस तुम्ही ब्रेन मधलं पण सगळं काढून टाकता आणि मोकळा करून झोपता एकदम निवांत, की दुसऱ्या दिवशी सकाळी एकदम संतच उठते झोपेतून मोकळ्या ब्रेनने. ओके. आणि त्यामुळे आपल्याला काहीच लक्षात राहत नाही पेपरला. लिहून ठेवायचं, एससीजी इज प्रेझेंट इनसाइड ऑफ द pregnancy kit. So the role of progesterone and estrogen I am going to explain one by one. आणि यांचे रोल पहिले पण आपण मेन्स्ट्रुएशन सायकल मध्ये किंवा फिमेल रिप्रोडक्टिव्ह सिस्टम मध्ये पाहिलेले आहेत. ठीक आहे. चलो next. The parturition. What is meant by parturition? It's an act of giving birth to the baby. Okay, so it's an act of giving birth to the baby. The labor is a passage of a baby by which the baby is going to pass. So that a passage is called as a labor. Okay, labor म्हणजे तो uterus मधला जो passage आहे ना ज्यातनं baby खाली येणार आहे. So that passage is called as a labor. Okay, so labor phase is a sensation of a discomfort. Okay, so the discomfort which is caused because of the few reason is called as the labor pain. Okay, so we are going to see in a very detail what is meant by labor pain and why it is there. Okay, so the physical activity involved in the parturition is a contraction of uterine muscles and the abdominal muscles. So both muscles are going to be a contract in the act of parturition, and the dilation of a cervix. So cervix is a part so by which the baby is coming out. So the relaxations or the dilation of a cervix will allow the baby to smoothly pass through the passage. Okay, so let's see how it happen. So the hormone which are very important part of the parturition, so you can say these are the main player in the parturition. Okay, so these are the main players in parturition in the delivery of baby. ओके. पर्च्युरेशन म्हणजे प्रोसेस ऑफ गिव्हिंग अ बर्थ, त्याला डिलिव्हरी म्हणतो आपण. ओके, याच्यामध्ये काय होणार आहे बघा, आफ्टर 7-8 month the progesterone secretion is a constant but the secretion of estrogen increases. Okay, so the progesterone is a constant but the secretion of estrogen is increases. If you see the progesterone, it is at its peak in the 7th and the 8th month. Okay, but after this 7-8 month the progesterone is a constant but the estrogen is now going to be an increase. Okay, so the why estrogen is going to be an increase, because the effect of estrogen, if you see the increase in oxytocin receptor on the uterine muscles. Okay, so the uterus, for example, this is uterus, so this uterus increases the receptor for the oxytocin. So this is a function of estrogen. Okay, so the estrogen increases the receptor on the uterus वरती रिसेप्टर वाढवतो कशासाठी, फॉर द ऑक्सिटोसिन. So the binding of oxytocin is ensured by this receptor and the number of receptor are increased due to the estrogen. Okay, so it is happening inside the 8th and the 9th of a month. Okay, so the result in a responsiveness to the oxytocin at the time of a birth. So it will responsible for the response to the oxytocin at the time of a birth. So why it is important, so we will explain in the next slide. Okay, so the rate of oxytocin increase by the neurohypophysia. न्यूरोहायपोपायसी म्हणजे काय रे, कोणाला माहिती आहे का न्यूरोहायपोपायसिस कोणता ऑर्गन आहे, कुठे असतो हा. So the rate of oxytocin increase by the neurohypophysis is the response of a stretch in the uterus. Okay, so uterus मध्ये response काय आहे त्याचा, stretch वाढवतो. So the uterus get a contract due to the neurohypophysia, the secretion of a neurohypophysia. काय न्यूरोहायपोपायसी माहित आहे का कोणाला, कोण कोण आहे ऑनलाईन, चला हाय पाठवा. कोण कोण आहे ऑनलाईन, समजतंय का तुम्हाला काय चाललंय नेमकं, का डोक्यावरून जातंय. 11वी वाले आहेत का, 11वी वाले, 11वी वाले दमलेले दिसतात आज. 12 लेक्चरला येत नाहीत ते 12 वाले आहेत का समजते ना रे ठीक है चलो okay so the oxytocin is stored in the posterior pituitary so neurohypophysia please find it okay so this is a word we use in the each and every lecture in the reproductive system okay so the posterior pituitary which is responsible for the storage of the oxytocin it is actually released by the hypothalamus synthesized by the part of hypothalamus and stored inside of the posterior uh, part of the pituitary okay so the posterior pituitary is here for example this is a hypothalamus okay so this is a posterior part this is an anterior part so the hypothalamus secretes few hormones like the oxytocin and the uh, prolactin okay so they are coming from the hypothalamus and stored here stored hormones are here okay let's see the next one so this is the diagram actually मीच काढली यात बऱ्याचशा गोष्टी आहेत ज्या मला तुम्हाला सांगायच्या फॉर एक्झाम्पल दिस इज अ प्रेग्नंट वुमेन ओके सो दिस इज द प्लासेंटा इन द black color I drawn here okay so I am going to make it complete red color this is a placenta okay this is the baby the adrenal gland of a baby is here okay the kidneys of a baby which is not required in this session but the adrenal gland is required for us so this is the brain of a baby okay here is the anterior pituitary or the just say the pituitary gland of a baby okay so this is the brain of the mother okay so this is the pituitary gland of a mother and here is the hypothalamus of a mother okay so this is the hypothalamus so these are the parts we require okay so when at the ninth month if you see at the ninth month a baby is a fully developed so the fully developed baby does not had the more room or more space inside of the uterus so it start stress on the fetus okay so due to the very little space for the baby so the baby is now inside of this very little space and it start the stretch on the baby okay so this stress on the baby will increase the ACTH hormone from the anterior pituitary of the baby okay so here is the anterior pituitary so this ACTH is coming from the anterior pituitary ACTH okay so it's a ACTH is a hormone which is coming from the anterior pituitary लक्षात येते का मित्रांनो पाठवत चला मला लक्षात येत असेल तर okay so this is hormone which is coming from the anterior pituitary and it start uh, acting on the adrenal gland so ACTH coming to the adrenal gland release the cortical hormone okay so the cortical hormone is released from this uh, adrenal gland okay so the release of a cortical is the increase in the progesterone sorry the prostaglandin it result into the increase in the prostaglandin it also decrease the concentration of progesterone and the concentration of estrogen so these both hormones are now going to be decreased due to the effect of a cortisol sorry cortical and the next if you see the next result that is the prostaglandin so the prostaglandin is responsible for the contraction of the uterine muscles okay so due to the contraction of uterine muscles so what happened the stimulation of a nervous system is again so the nervous system got the stimulation due to this the contraction and the signal of a nervous system is moving toward the hypothalamus and it will give the signal to the hypothalamus that signal is nothing but the contraction of uterine muscle so the hypothalamus start activation of a pituitary gland. So the posterior pituitary, which is giving the oxytocin, or the releasing the oxytocin in the posterior part, and again this oxytocin will move toward the uterus, and it will start the pushing of uterus from the this side. Okay, so it is because of the receptor of oxytocin is already present here on the uterus. So this receptor get oxytocin, and they start a contraction, and due to that the uterus is become like this now. So there is very little space, and automatically the baby is pushing toward the birth canal. Okay, so after the contraction of uterus, so the nerves tissue, that is the this sensory nerve, again due to the contraction of uterine muscles, it again stimulated, and the stimulation again start the release of oxytocin. So this cycle is continued till the birth. Okay, so till the birth this cycle is a continue. So guys, you can see how actually it is started. It is started because of the complete growth of the, let's see what happened actually. The baby is got a complete growth. Okay, so the growth of a baby is completed, and due to that there is a no more space, no more space is available for a baby in uterus. Okay, or in the placenta. So what happened, so it will give the stress, so the baby feel a stress. So baby feel a stress. This stress increases the secretion of ACTH from the pituitary gland. Okay, so this ACTH moves toward the adrenal gland. Adrenal gland secretes the cortisol. Okay, so the cortisol hormone moving toward the release of prostaglandin. So it increases the secretion of prostaglandin, decreases the progesterone, decreases the estrogen. Okay, so these two things are decreases, and the prostaglandin increases. Prostaglandin is actually responsible for the contraction of uterine muscle. Okay, so this contraction of uterine muscle is a result into the activation sensory nerve. This sensory nerve gives signal to the hypothalamus, hypothalamus of mother. So hypothalamus release the oxytocin from the hypothalamus to the posterior pituitary. Okay, so from the posterior pituitary it is secreted and moving toward the uterus. It is responsible for the contraction of uterus. So this contraction of uterus again activate this nerve, and it again start this cycle. Okay, so this cycle is continue till the birth. So the each and every time the placenta get contracted like this. Okay, so the next stage, if you see, the placenta is looks like this. So the more contraction due to the effect of oxytocin. Okay, so this contraction is actually the wave of a contraction. So the oxytocin is responsible for the contraction, and the pressure or the force of contraction, which is increased due to the prostaglandin. So the prostaglandin is responsible for the increase in the force of a contraction, and actually the contraction is due to the oxytocin. So the both things are responsible for the contraction, but one for the wave of a contraction and one for the force of a contraction. So the prostaglandin increases the force of a contraction, oxytocin increases the contraction. Okay, so this is the next stage of a contraction, and now the baby is moving out of the body of a mother. Okay, so this is for example baby, so which is moving out of the body of a mother. Okay, so here is the legs, okay, inside of the mother. Okay, so this is how the perturbation happens. Okay, so let's see, I'm going to rub this all, and we are going to start the labor pain. What is the labor pain? So the early labor pain and the second labor pain, we have two labor pains in the process of perturbation due to the contraction of uterus blood vessels. Okay, so the contraction of uterus blood vessel in the wall of uterus the compressed, and which result into the low blood supply and the low oxygen, and this hypoxia causes the cramp in the muscle, and this cramp is painful. Okay, so the first early labor pain is nothing but the cramp in the muscles of uterus. So why there is a cramp? Because of the contraction, the first contraction due to the prostaglandin causes the contraction of the blood vessel, or you can say the blocking of a blood vessel. So it will result into the low blood supply and the low oxygen level. So the low oxygen level is called as hypoxia. So this hypoxia is responsible for the cramp. Okay, which is responsible for the labor pain. So this cramp will give you the pain. So this is the first pain. Second pain, oxytocin and prostaglandin causes the wave of a contraction. The prostaglandin is for the force of a contraction, and the oxytocin is responsible for the contraction. Okay, which result into the labor pain for a longer period, because it's a cyclic process, because each and every wave stimulate the sensory nerve, which increase the production of oxytocin, and again the wave of a contraction will increase the sensation of a sensory nerve, and it again start the same cycle. Okay, so this is continue till the birth. Okay, so this is actually the mechanism and the hormones behind the labor pain. Okay, so the next thing is a lactation. So before the lactation, let's understand the part of a reproduction. It is also considered as a part of a reproductive system. Actually I never taught this in the female reproductive system. Okay, so because I keep it with the lactation. Okay, so it is very easy to understand this part here. So the breast is actually the responsible for the making of a milk. So why it is going to make a milk? Because of the glands. Okay, so these glands of making the milk is called as the mammary gland. Okay, so this sorry, here is one more m. Okay, M-A-W-M-A. So this mama word is actually responsible for the name of mammals. So the mammals are the organism which is having a mammary gland. आणि यांची प्रॉपर्टी अशी आहे की they are giving a birth to the child. Okay, but not all. Only 98 to 99% of a mammal is giving birth to the child. The remaining 1 to 2% are giving the birth by egg. Okay, so they are egg laying. तुम्हाला नेहमी माहित असतं की डेफिनेशन काय आहे. मॅमलची डेफिनेशन कोणी विचारलं की तुम्ही म्हणता जे डायरेक्ट पिल्लांना जन्म देतात त्यांना मॅमल म्हणतात. Okay, so that is not a good definition for you guys, because now you are not in the school, you are in the college. So the definition should be like a very specific. So the mammals means the any organism which is having mammary gland in the body. Okay, so the duckbill platypus, if you see, it's a egg laying animal, duckbill platypus. So the platypus is egg laying animal. Still it is considered as a mammal because it is having the mammary gland. आणि हा reptilia कडून आलेला आहे. So it is the link between reptilia. Okay, reptiles आणि mammals मधली link आहे हा duckbill platypus. Okay, so the mammary gland is actually the word which is responsible for the name of mammals. Okay, so let's see. So the structure, if you see, the this is the ligaments, okay, or the muscles actually. Sorry, this is the muscles, the pectoralis or the pectoris muscle. It is a major muscle considered, which is responsible for to hold the breast. Okay, so here is a fat pad. So this fat pad is actually responsible for the size of a breast. ओके, हा क्वेश्चन असतो तुम्हाला पेपर मध्ये, विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर द साइज ऑफ अ ब्रेस्ट. ओके, तर काय लिहाल, दिस फॅट पॅड इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर द साइज ऑफ अ ब्रेस्ट. Okay, so this is the suspensory ligament. So this ligament hold this fat pad and the structure of a mammary gland at its position. Okay, so this is the mammary gland responsible for the making of a milk making glands. So this is the lactiferous duct. Okay, so this duct gather the milk from the lobes. Okay, from the lobes of a mammary gland. Okay, so the lactiferous sinus. So where it's nothing but the swallowing, or the you can say the larger part. Okay, so the high uh, diameter part of your lactiferous duct. Okay, where the uh, milk can be stored for so sorry the milk store. A milk can be hold by this sinus for a longer time. Okay, so this is a nipple actually, the pore by which the milk is served. Okay, serving a milk. Okay, so this is the hole which is responsible for the serving of milk, and this is the areola. So areola is a dark spot. Okay, which is having role in the serving. Okay, so we are going to see that role also. So the prolactin from the pituitary gland, okay, which stimulate the synthesis of milk. So the milk synthesis is stimulated by the making of milk is stimulated by the prolactin hormone. Okay, so it is synthesized when the prostaglandin and estrogen are going to be the decrease from the blood. Okay, sir, we have question, guys. Sir, what is the present in the mother's milk but the absent in a normal milk, why we buy? Okay, which we buy. Okay, so the mother milk, so the first milk of a mother is called as the colostrum. Okay, so it contains the antibody, that is IgA, which is present in the colostrum, the first mother milk. So the second thing, there are many proteins, okay, which is coming from the liver of a mother. It is also present inside of the mother milk. So mother milk is actually the compatible with the human. Okay, and it is having the antibodies, so the immune system, the part of immune systems like a proteins, C-reactive proteins. So this type of a material is always provided by the mother to the child by this milk. So it is nothing but the resistance system, which work against the pathogens in a very early phase of the delivery, or early phase after the birth. Okay, so the oxytocin, which is coming from the posterior pituitary, oxytocin which is coming from the posterior pituitary is responsible for the ejaculation of milk. Okay, so the ejection of milk. So what is the ejection of milk and how it happens? So we know the oxytocin is responsible for the contraction. So when oxytocin come into the contact of these cells, so it started the contraction of this the sacs. Okay, so the contraction of this sac will pressurize the milk toward this nipple. Okay, so the each and every sac pushing the milk toward the nipple, and it causes the automatic supply or the serving of milk to the particular baby, which is just born. Okay, नवीन जन्माला आलेला बेबी जो आहे, so that is not that baby is not able to suck the milk from the breast of a mother, so it is very necessary to serve. Okay, so that's why I'm always using the word serve. Serving of a milk is a very necessary, and it is the possible because of the contraction in the uh, these muscles. Okay, so the contraction in this breast muscle will causes the pressurize, I mean increase in a pressure in the sac of milk, and it is moving toward the milk is moving toward the nipple, that is where the mouth of a baby is open for that. So this is called as a serving of a milk. Okay, मिल्क सर्व करणं म्हणजे प्रोव्हाइड करणं. बाळ आहे ना ते सक करू शकत नाही मिल्क. जन्माला आलेलं बाळ आहे त्याला तुम्ही एवढं का अवघड काम सांगू शकत नाही की मिल्क सक कर. त्यामुळे त्याला मिल्क प्रोव्हाइड केलं जातं. ऍक्च्युली इट इज अ प्रोसेस ऑफ अ सर्विंग ऑफ अ मिल्क. ओके, सो लॅक्टेशन इज द प्रोसेस ऑफ सर्विंग ऑफ अ मिल्क. मिल्क कसं सर्व केलं जातं तर ज्या वेळेस बाळ टच करतं या ॲरिओलाला, सो ॲरिओला इज फॉर एक्झाम्पल इट इज अ सेन्सिटिव्ह पार्ट which get the sensation of a touching of a baby or the sensation of touching of the lips of a baby to the areola result in the secretion of oxytocin from the posterior pituitary, which result into the contraction of the breast muscle and which causes the serving of a milk to the baby. Okay, so this is the process of a serving of a baby, and this is the two hormones. Please keep in mind that the prolactin is responsible for uh, the making of a milk. Okay, and the ejection of a milk is because of this oxytocin hormone. Okay, so the prolactin for the making and oxytocin for the ejection. Okay, so let's see the next one. So breast, if you see the location of a breast, so the rib 2 to rib 6. Okay, so rib number 2 to rib number 6 is the location of a breast. It is a superficial fascia of the pectoral region. So it is a superficial fascia, means at the upper side of the pectoral region. So the loose areolar tissue between the pectoral major muscles and the breast, that is the retromammary space which permit the movement of the breast. Okay, so the nipple is a conical projection at the fourth intercostal space. So the fourth intercostal space means, for example, this is your the breast bone. Okay, so this is called as a breast bone. Actually, this is nothing but the uh, sternum. Okay, so for, for example, so this is a first rib, this is a second rib. Okay, third rib, fourth rib. So the if you see the fourth intercostal muscle, so 1 2 3, for example, here is the fourth intercostal muscle, so I'm going to write here fourth intercostal muscle. So this is intercostal muscle, means the muscle which is present between two ribs. So intercostal muscles means the muscle which is present, sorry, here is the intercostal muscle, which is the smooth muscle which is present between the two ribs. Okay, which is responsible for the contraction and also responsible for your the breathing. Okay, so they are also having the role in the breathing. श्वास घेण्यामध्ये पण यांचा रोल असतो. So it is rich in sensory nerves, and the most sensitive to the nipple is most sensitive, and because of that it can again very specifically the lips of the baby, when the lips of a baby is touching to the nipple, so it gets activated, and the secretion of oxytocin is happen, which result into the serving of milk. Okay, so the areola is a dark color spot which is present behind the nipple. Okay, for example, this is a nipple and this is the areola. Okay, so this is the part actually behind the nipple. Okay, so this is a dark spot. Okay, so pigmented part म्हणतो आपण त्याला. So the pigmented part surrounds the nipple has the modified sebaceous gland which prevent the nipple from the drying and the cracking. Okay, so this is responsible for the secretion of a sebum like a structure which is actually keep this nipple with a uh, keep this nipple wet, and the prevent it from the cracking. In the pregnancy, it become a more dark and enlarged due to the uh, synthesis of a more gland or the activation or the enlargement of a sebaceous gland inside of that the dark area areola. Okay, so the parenchyma is also called as a glandular tissue which secretes the milk to the newborn baby. Okay, so this aka means also called as the glandular tissues. Okay, so the lactiferous duct which collect the milk, and the lactiferous sinus which collect the lactiferous duct. It is made up of the sinuses looks like this. Okay, so we already see that the sinuses looks like this. Okay, which is responsible for the different type of the uh, uh, ducts are coming together in the sinus, and which is which can store the milk for a longer. Okay, so we store some milk, and when the oxytocin come, it will get the contract and the milk is provided to the baby. Okay, so this is actually the complete structure of a breast, and this is the process of the lactation. Okay, let's see the what happened. So when baby touches the nipple, okay, we know the nipple is very sensitive. So this nipple can get the touch of a baby, and it will activate the nervous system. So by the nervous system signal is very fast and moving to the hypothalamus. So the hypothalamus activate the posterior gland. Hypothalamus ask the posterior gland to uh, increase the production of oxytocin. Actually the production of oxytocin is happen here in oxytocin, sorry, hypothalamus, and then it is stored inside of the posterior pituitary. So the posterior pituitary starts secretion of oxytocin. So this oxytocin comes into the breast, and it start the contraction of this muscle. So this contraction of a muscle start the blood supply, sorry, the milk supply to the baby. So this is called as serving of a milk. Okay, so the contraction of a breast muscle serve or the feed the milk to the baby. This is the mechanism. Actually the milk is synthesized because of the prolactin. Prolactin is responsible for synthesis of milk. And serving of a milk is because of the oxytocin. Okay, so please keep in mind that these two things together. Okay, so we have a question: change in areola is till the pregnancy only or the remain after that also? So actually it is started in a pregnancy, and after the pregnancy it is remain for a longer time till the baby is the completely depending upon the breast milk. Okay, so if you see the after 1 year, the 1.5 year, or sometimes the 2 year, after 2 year the mother stop the feeding of milk to the baby. So slowly that baby is after 1 year, if you see the baby is trying to eat most of the thing which is artificial. Okay, so वेगवेगळ्या टाईपचे फूड्स आपण त्याला बेबीला बनवून देतो. After 1 year we start the serving the different foods, different type of foods, uh, either I mean the extra from the uh, breast milk, and from that point the feeding to the baby is slowly decrease, and then after when the baby is start, I mean the baby is completely stop feeding on the breast milk, so that time these areolar tissues again convert to the normal shape. Okay, okay, is it okay? Okay, so let's see. So guys, thank you very much. So today's lecture has been completed, and thank you very much. So tomorrow we have the revision. Okay, so we will going to revise the cell division, the complete cell division at 11 a.m. and the complete embryology at the 7 p.m. Okay, so thank you very much. See you tomorrow. Please join this Crack Maharashtra CET YouTube channel also, and the Telegram channel also. It will give you the MCQs for the practice notes, and the a notification for the live lecture. Okay, so thank you very much guys. Have a good time.